You know how in Modern Warfare 2019, all of the ground war maps were actually taken from the one larger map, Verdansk, which then turned out to be the Battle Royale map for Warzone? Well, the same thing kind of exists in Modern Warfare 2. We've got a bunch of maps, Said, Tarak, and Sarif Bay, which are all ground war maps, and they come from the brand new Warzone 2 map, which is called Mazrah, and that was briefly shown off at the Call of Duty Next event in September. These ground war maps are actually POIs on a larger map, cut out and used for another game mode, which is pretty neat. And this time around, Infinity Ward has actually confirmed that each of these ground war maps was made for ground war first, and then was slotted into the new Warzone map, so they're suited for both game modes. However, there is a little bit more to the story here. Some new information has come to light, and I wanted to talk about it in today's video. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already for all of my upcoming videos on Warzone 2. There will be a lot of them, and we are closing in on 850,000 subscribers, and roughly 70% of viewers right now aren't subscribed to the channel. So if you could help us get there, go and click that subscribe button. That'd be awesome. So currently it's not possible for you to play the new Warzone 2 map Mazrah, but you can have a more detailed look at it in a different way. You can jump into a private match on the Embassy 6v6 map and set yourself up as Codcaster, and then you can fly out of that map area and you can start to have a look around. As it turns out, the Embassy map is set near the city area on the Mazrah map. And as you fly further onto Mazrah, you can find some of the other ground war locations like Tarak over here, which is complete with the old Rust map from Modern Warfare. Now, admittedly, the quality of these areas of the map are pretty low. Of course, you're actually playing on the Embassy map here, or that's what you intended to do from the private match. That's where all the high-quality assets are going to be. And the game, obviously, for system resource reasons, is not going to load all of the other assets all the way across Mazrah, but you can kind of get a gist of what you're going to be playing in a couple of weeks' time. And as I said in the intro to this video, you can start to see that all of the maps in Modern Warfare 2, or at least some of them, are part of larger maps that are going to be available at some point in the future. Now, there are two other ground war maps currently, Santa Senya and Guijaro, which are not part of this larger Mazrah map for Warzone 2. They appear to come from some other parts of the game at the moment. The Guijaro map makes use of several assets that you see in the campaign. It's like this Mexican town, and it's a part of the campaign where you team up with Vargas to fight drug cartel members. And you can also find the Mercado Las Almas 6v6 map right in the center of this Guijaro map. So it's sort of like a nesting doll of maps here. You've got a ground war map, and then in the middle is a 6v6 map, and potentially could it be part of a Warzone map in the future. And then the Santa Senya map is also spliced from the campaign to an extent. It's set around the US-Mexico border crossing, and that plays host to a chase scene in the campaign. And again, like Guijaro featuring the Mercado 6v6 map, this map here features the rather polarizing 6v6 border crossing map. Now, the reason for explaining all of this comes from some recently unearthed info from the campaign. Both Guijaro and Santa Senya may well feature in Warzone 2 at some point, but on a second map. Found by Geeky Pastimes, a good friend of mine, his channel is linked in the description, we can see a map here labeled Las Almas, the region in Mexico that's part of the campaign that you play through. This was found on a table after killing an important character in the story. And as you can see from this image, the map itself is fairly high quality, and it's placed right in the center of the room that you bust into, so it's pretty hard to miss. Even though pretty much everyone did miss it apart from Geeky Pastimes since the campaign launched. Not good eye-opening moments for us. The map itself looks like others in the past that we've been shown when Warzone brings out a new map or is going to launch a new map. We have something similar for Verdansk and Verdansk 84. We've got this overview of Caldera, and we've got ones for Rebirth Island and Fortune's Keep. And considering how expensive it can be development-wise to have unique assets in single-player elements, it strikes me as a little bit odd that a high-quality map of Las Almas would just be sitting here in the middle of this room. Now, there is a plausible explanation, I think, given that the part of the campaign that you're playing through when you find this map is in Las Almas in Mexico. You're in a high-profile drug cartel building, so perhaps having a map of the local area, that might make sense, especially with it being in the room with one of the leaders of the cartel. But still, it seems to be an asset that is only used once during the entire campaign. So far, it's not been spotted anywhere else, or at least it's not been reported to be anywhere else in the campaign. So thinking back to what I said a few minutes ago, 2 locations from this Las Almas map have already been lifted and used for ground war, the Santa Senya border crossing and the Guijaro market town. And looking at the map, there's clearly other big POIs that could be used in the future as other ground war maps that could be added to the game through the Season Pass, very similar to how that worked with Modern Warfare 2019, taking more locations from Verdansk and releasing them as ground war maps each season. But there is one thing that kind of puts the brakes on all of this speculation, and just remember, this is all speculation. The Embassy map and how you fly out of the play space using Codcaster like we did at the start of the video, you can see the entire Mazrah Warzone 2 map beyond it. Well, for Santa Senya and Guijaro, those 2 Mexican ground war maps, at least right now, they are not part of a larger map in the game. So if you go to the edges of these maps, you just start to see low quality assets being used as a backdrop that never intended to be seen up close. There's nothing beyond the play space that's really of any note. However, that doesn't mean that these maps couldn't be part of a larger Warzone 2 map in the future. As I said to you earlier, Infinity Ward confirmed to me at the COD Next event that all of the ground war maps currently in the game were first designed for the ground war game mode and then added into Mazrah for Warzone 2, making them really highly detailed POIs that work for ground war in better ways than what they did from Verdansk in Modern Warfare 2019. Back then, Infinity Ward made Verdansk and then just took locations and made them into ground war maps. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. And for this game, they're doing it the other way around. They're making them for ground war first and then slotting them onto the Warzone 2 map. So I'm assuming the same stands for these 2 Mexican ground war maps. Those will have been made for ground war first and could well be on the slate for being added to some kind of new Warzone 2 map coming in the future. Now personally, I feel like that would make complete sense. Infinity Ward to be working on a second Warzone 2 map for the second year of this game's life cycle. We know Call of Duty will have no mainline premium title released in 2023. That's a first for the Call of Duty franchise in nearly 2 decades. And we also know what happened with Warzone 1 and the rework of Verdansk back in 2021. We got Verdansk 84 for Black Ops Cold War, and it didn't quite work out. Warzone needed a brand new map in 2021, not a rework. And by the time Caldera came along in early 2022, it didn't fill the void that had been left by Verdansk, and it didn't really do anything to bring players back who'd started leaving. It also was not the right setting for a Warzone map. With that in mind, I'd actually be quite confident that the teams supporting Modern Warfare 2 would already be working on some kind of second Warzone 2 map, probably for 2023, to take over from Mazrah in the second year of content support for Modern Warfare 2. The campaign, it ended on a cliffhanger, and looking at how Infinity Ward wove the Modern Warfare 2019 story into the Verdansk map and the Battle Royale mode, I would not be surprised if we see that happen here in Warzone 2 as well. But let me know what you think about all of this information down below in the comments. As I said earlier in the video, this is all speculation right now. We've got absolutely zero concrete information on this, and to be honest, we don't have any real concrete information on Warzone 2 besides what's on the Call of Duty website. I was really expecting some kind of more details about Warzone 2 and DMZ to have been released not long after the launch of the game, considering there are rumors going around that lots of changes are being made based on the gameplay that was shown at Call of Duty Next a couple of months ago. So I'm kind of hoping we get some more information in the future, but as for all of this Warzone 2 second map stuff, it is all speculation. Do you think we're looking at a new Warzone 2 map here coming later during the game's seasons, or is this just something specific to the campaign level that it was found on? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it or you learned something new and you had fun with it, and subscribe to the channel for more content. I'll catch you soon.